Good evening, my weary academics, and welcome to History to Sleep By, where we nerd out and conk out. If you enjoy calm, narrated history documentaries, or just need a reliable friend to help with restless nights, please subscribe, leave a like, and maybe share a comment about what's happening in your life. That way, you'll always find your way back to us. Now let's begin tonight's journey. In the autumn of 1777, the dense forests and rolling hills of upstate New York became the stage for a pivotal moment in the American Revolutionary War. The Battles of Saratoga unfolded, marking a turning point in the struggle for independence. British forces, led by Lieutenant General John Burgoyne, embarked on an ambitious campaign to divide the rebellious colonies by advancing southward along the Hudson River corridor. Burgoyne's army, a mix of British regulars, loyalists, and Brunswick mercenaries, faced the American Northern Department commanded by Major General Horatio Gates. Among Gates' field leaders were the fiery Benedict Arnold, the skilled Daniel Morgan, and the steadfast Enoch Poor. The geography of the region played a crucial role in the unfolding drama. The Hudson River, a vital artery for movement and supply, wound its way through the landscape. The Great Road, a key route, paralleled the river, offering a path for Burgoyne's advance. Near the river, the American forces fortified positions on Bemis Heights, a strategic rise that overlooked the surrounding area. Freeman's Farm, a clearing amidst the woods, lay nearby, destined to become the site of fierce combat. On September 19, 1777, Burgoyne's forces moved in 3 columns, seeking to engage the American defenders. As they advanced, they encountered Morgan's riflemen and light infantry, who harried the British with accurate fire. The engagement at Freeman's Farm soon escalated, with both sides committing more troops to the fray. The Brunswickers under General Riedesel played a significant role, their disciplined volleys adding to the intensity of the battle. Despite heavy fighting and significant casualties on both sides, the day ended without a decisive victor, leaving the tactical result inconclusive. In the days that followed, both armies prepared for the next encounter. The Americans, bolstered by the arrival of militia reinforcements, strengthened their positions. Within the American camp, tensions simmered between Gates and Arnold, whose aggressive instincts clashed with Gates's more cautious approach. Meanwhile, Burgoyne faced logistical challenges. His supply lines stretched thin as he awaited reinforcements that never came. On October 7th, Burgoyne launched a reconnaissance in force, hoping to find a weakness in the American lines. The Americans, alert and ready, responded with vigor. Led by Poor and Learned, they counterattacked with determination, driving back the British. In the chaos of battle, British General Simon Fraser was mortally wounded, a blow to Burgoyne's command. The Americans pressed their advantage, targeting the Freeman's Farm and Bremen redoubts. Despite having been relieved of command, Arnold, driven by a fierce determination, charged into the fray, rallying troops and inspiring a successful assault on the British positions. With their defenses breached, Burgoyne's forces began a retreat to Saratoga, now known as Schuylerville. Encircled and outnumbered, Burgoyne found himself with few options. Negotiations commenced, leading to the surrender known as the Convention of Saratoga on October 17th. Burgoyne's army, numbering around 800 men, laid down their arms, becoming prisoners of the American forces. The Americans also captured valuable material, including artillery and supplies. The strategic impact of Burgoyne's defeat was profound. The victory at Saratoga bolstered American morale and proved pivotal in securing foreign intervention. France, encouraged by the American success, entered the war as an ally, providing crucial support that would alter the course of the conflict. For the British, the loss forced a re-evaluation of their strategy, shifting focus away from the northern theater. As the autumn leaves fell and the chill of winter approached, the echoes of the Battles of Saratoga lingered in the air. The events of those days in 1777 would resonate far beyond the forests and fields of New York, shaping the destiny of a nation. As you drift into slumber, let the story of Saratoga remind you of the resilience and determination that can turn the tide of history. Rest well, dear listener, and may your dreams be filled with peace and the gentle whispers of the past. In the quiet aftermath of the Battles of Saratoga, the American landscape began to settle into the embrace of winter. The soldiers, weary yet invigorated by their triumph, found themselves wrapped in the chill of the season, their breath visible in the crisp air. Encampments became small villages of tents and makeshift huts, where fires crackled and stories of valor were shared under the starlit sky. The Continental Army, under the leadership of General George Washington, prepared for the challenges that lay ahead, their spirits buoyed by the recent victory. The alliance with France, now solidified, brought not only hope but tangible aid. Ships laden with supplies crossed the Atlantic, braving the treacherous waters to deliver much-needed provisions. Muskets, gunpowder, and uniforms arrived, bolstering the American forces. French officers, seasoned by years of warfare, offered their expertise, mingling with American troops and sharing strategies that would prove invaluable in the battles to come. The presence of these allies was a testament to the changing tides, a sign that the struggle for independence was gaining momentum. As the snows of winter blanketed the ground, the British forces regrouped, their focus shifting to the southern colonies. The loss at Saratoga had been a blow, but it was not the end. The British command, determined to regain control, sought to exploit divisions within the American ranks. Loyalists in the South, those who remained faithful to the crown, became pivotal in their new strategy. The British believed that by rallying these supporters, they could reclaim lost ground and turn the war in their favor. In the towns and villages of the South, tensions simmered. Families were often divided, brother against brother, as loyalties clashed. The war was no longer confined to distant battlefields. It had seeped into the very fabric of daily life. Yet, amid the uncertainty, a quiet resolve took root. Communities banded together, their shared hardships forging bonds that would endure long after the conflict had ended. The winter months passed slowly, each day a testament to endurance and patience. Soldiers drilled in the snow, their breath mingling with the frosty air as they honed their skills. The rhythm of military life continued, a steady beat against the backdrop of a world in turmoil. Letters from home, carried by couriers through the icy wilderness, brought news and warmth to those far from loved ones. These missives, filled with tales of everyday life, reminded the soldiers of what they fought for, a future where liberty and justice would prevail. As spring approached, the landscape began to thaw, rivers swelling with the rush of melting snow. The promise of new campaigns loomed on the horizon, the prospect of further battles both daunting and exhilarating. The American forces, now bolstered by their French allies, prepared to meet the challenges ahead with renewed vigor. The lessons of Saratoga lingered in their minds, a reminder of what could be achieved through perseverance and unity. In the cities and towns, the spirit of revolution continued to burn brightly. Meetings in taverns and assembly halls echoed with debates and discussions as citizens engaged in the shaping of their nascent nation. The ideals of freedom and self-governance, once distant dreams, were becoming tangible realities. Each decision, each act of defiance, was a step toward a future defined by the people themselves. As the days grew longer and the sun's warmth returned, the American landscape transformed once more. Fields, once silent under snow, burst into life, a testament to nature's resilience and renewal. The soldiers, too, emerged from their winter quarters, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The journey was far from over, but the path was clear. With determination and hope as their guides, they moved forward, one step at a time, toward the promise of a new dawn. In the quiet moments before sleep, let the echoes of this time wash over you. Remember the courage and tenacity of those who came before, their struggles and triumphs a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. As you close your eyes, may you find comfort in the knowledge that history is woven from the threads of countless lives, each one contributing to the tapestry of our shared past. Rest now, dear listener, and let the gentle whispers of history guide you into a peaceful slumber. The soldiers marched onward, their boots pressing into the softened earth, leaving behind the imprint of their journey. The air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of early spring, a reminder that life continued to unfurl even amidst the trials of war. As they moved, the landscape around them began to change. Fields that had lain dormant under a blanket of snow now showed signs of awakening. Small buds appeared on the branches of trees, and the first hints of green peeked through the soil, a quiet promise of renewal. The men, weary but resolute, found solace in these small signs of life. Each step brought them closer to their destination, a place where they hoped to find respite and perhaps a sense of normalcy amidst the chaos. The camaraderie among them was palpable, forged in the crucible of shared hardship and mutual reliance. Stories and laughter punctuated their journey, moments of levity that lifted their spirits and reminded them of home. As the days passed, they encountered villages along their path. In these small enclaves, life persisted with a quiet determination. The villagers, too, were emerging from the grip of winter, tending to their fields and preparing for the planting season. Children played in the streets, their laughter a joyful counterpoint to the soldiers' steady march. The villagers greeted the soldiers with a mixture of curiosity and hospitality, offering what little they could spare. A loaf of bread here, a jug of fresh milk there, small gestures that spoke volumes of human kindness and resilience. In the evenings, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the soldiers would gather around campfires. The warmth of the flames warded off the chill of the night, and the flickering light cast dancing shadows on their faces. It was during these quiet moments that they would reflect on the journey so far and the road that lay ahead. Tales of bravery and loss were shared, each story a thread in the tapestry of their collective experience. The officers, mindful of their duty to lead, would often speak of the importance of their mission. They reminded their men of the cause for which they fought, instilling a sense of purpose that transcended the immediate hardships. Yet, even as they spoke of duty and honor, they were not immune to the weariness that settled in their bones. They, too, found comfort in the simple pleasures of companionship and the beauty of the world around them. As the march continued, the terrain grew more challenging. Rolling hills gave way to rugged landscapes, testing the soldiers' endurance. Yet, with each obstacle, they grew stronger, their resolve unyielding. The rhythm of their march became a steady heartbeat, a testament to their unwavering spirit. Amidst the challenges, there were moments of unexpected beauty. A field of wildflowers, vibrant and untouched, painted a vivid contrast against the earth-toned backdrop. A stream, clear and cold, offered a refreshing reprieve from the dust and heat. These small wonders served as reminders of the world they were fighting to protect, a world where peace and beauty could flourish once more. As they neared their destination, anticipation mingled with apprehension. The promise of rest was tempered by the knowledge that their journey was far from over. Yet, in the quiet moments before sleep, they found solace in the knowledge that they were not alone. Together, they faced the unknown, bound by a shared purpose and a deep sense of kinship. The nights were filled with dreams of home, of loved ones waiting with open arms. In those dreams, they found strength, drawing on the memories of happier times to fuel their determination. And as they drifted into slumber, the gentle whispers of history cradled them, a reminder that they were part of something greater than themselves. In the stillness of the night, the world seemed to pause, holding its breath in anticipation of what was to come. The stars above shone brightly, their light a beacon of hope in the darkness, and as the soldiers rested, the earth beneath them continued its eternal cycle, a silent witness to their journey. With the dawn came renewed vigor, the promise of a new day propelling them forward. The path stretched out before them, a ribbon of possibility winding through the landscape. And so, with hearts full of hope and eyes set on the horizon, they marched on, each step a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. As you close your eyes, let the echoes of their journey lull you into a peaceful slumber, knowing that you too are part of this timeless tapestry. Rest now, dear listener, and let the gentle embrace of history guide you into the realm of dreams. The morning air was crisp, carrying with it the scent of dew-kissed grass and the faint aroma of wildflowers. The soldiers, now awake and alert, gathered their belongings, their movements synchronized in a silent dance of routine and readiness. Birds began their morning chorus, a symphony of nature that accompanied the rhythmic sound of boots on the earth. The landscape around them unfolded like a painting, vibrant hues of green and gold stretching as far as the eye could see. Each soldier, though weary from the miles behind them, felt a renewed sense of purpose, a quiet determination that fueled their journey. As they marched, the sun rose higher, casting a warm glow over the land. Shadows grew shorter, and the chill of the night gave way to the gentle caress of daylight. The soldiers moved steadily, their minds focused, yet occasionally drifting to thoughts of home and loved ones. Memories of laughter and warmth lingered in their hearts, a comforting presence even amidst the uncertainty of their path. They spoke little, their silence a shared understanding, a bond forged through shared experiences and the unspoken promise of support. The road ahead was long, winding through fields and forests, over hills and across streams. Each step brought new sights, new sounds, a tapestry of life unfolding around them. They passed through small villages, where curious eyes peered from windows and children waved with innocent enthusiasm. The soldiers returned the gestures with smiles, their spirits lifted by these brief connections, reminders of the world they were striving to protect. As midday approached, they paused to rest, seeking shade beneath the sprawling branches of an ancient oak. The tree stood as a sentinel, its roots deep and strong, a testament to resilience and endurance. The soldiers sat in its shadow, sharing water and stories, their laughter mingling with the rustle of leaves. It was in these moments of respite that they found strength, drawing from each other the courage to continue. The sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. The soldiers resumed their march, the path now bathed in the soft glow of twilight. The air cooled, and the world around them seemed to hold its breath, a quiet anticipation settling over the landscape. They moved as one, their steps steady and sure, guided by the fading light and the promise of rest at day's end. As darkness fell, they made camp, the flicker of a fire casting dancing shadows on their faces. The night was still, a velvet blanket adorned with the twinkle of stars. The soldiers spoke in hushed tones, their voices blending with the crackle of the fire. They shared stories of bravery and hope, weaving a tapestry of dreams and aspirations that transcended their current reality. As sleep claimed them, the world continued its gentle rotation, a constant in an ever-changing journey. The stars watched over them, silent guardians in the vast expanse of the night sky. The soldiers, wrapped in the warmth of camaraderie and the promise of a new day, drifted into slumber, their dreams intertwined with the whispers of history. In the quiet of the night, the earth held them close, a nurturing presence that cradled their weary bodies. The gentle rustle of leaves, the distant call of an owl, the soft murmur of a nearby stream, all conspired to create a lullaby, a soothing melody that eased them into rest. And as they slept, the world around them continued its timeless dance, a reminder that they were part of something greater, a story that spanned generations and would continue long after their journey was complete. With the dawn would come new challenges, new opportunities, and the ever-present promise of hope. But for now, in the embrace of the night, they found peace, their dreams a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity. And so, as the stars shone brightly above, the soldiers rested, their hearts full, their spirits unbroken, ready to face whatever lay ahead. As the first light of dawn began to paint the sky with hues of pink and gold, the soldiers stirred from their slumber. The chill of the night lingered in the air, but the promise of a new day brought warmth to their spirits. Slowly they rose from their makeshift beds, brushing off the dew that clung to their clothes. The camp came alive with the quiet bustle of morning routines, the soft clinking of metal as armor was donned, the low murmur of voices exchanging greetings and plans for the day ahead. The scent of wood smoke mingled with the crisp morning air as fires were rekindled, their flames flickering to life, ready to heat the simple fare that would sustain them. The soldiers gathered around, sharing bread and broth, their laughter and camaraderie a balm against the uncertainty that lay before them. Each man and woman carried their own burdens, memories of home and loved ones. But here, in this moment, they were united by a common purpose. As the sun climbed higher, casting long shadows across the landscape, the time came to break camp. The soldiers moved with practiced efficiency, packing their belongings, dousing the fires, leaving no trace of their presence save for the trampled grass beneath their feet. Their journey would take them through fields and forests, over hills and streams, each step bringing them closer to their destination. The path was familiar, yet each day brought its own challenges, its own surprises. The land around them was rich with history, every stone and tree a silent witness to the passage of time. They walked through ancient forests where the trees stood tall and proud, their branches whispering secrets of the past. Birds flitted through the canopy, their songs a cheerful accompaniment to the soldiers' march. Occasionally, they would pause to drink from a clear, cold stream, the water a refreshing reminder of nature's bounty. As they traveled, the soldiers shared stories, tales of bravery and folly, of love and loss. These stories, passed down through generations, were a thread that wove them together, a tapestry of shared experience that bound them as tightly as any oath. There were moments of silence, too, when each was left to their own thoughts, the rhythmic crunch of boots on the earth a steady, comforting presence. The landscape shifted as they moved, the dense woods giving way to rolling fields, the horizon stretching wide and open before them. Here, the wind swept across the land, carrying with it the scent of wildflowers and the distant promise of rain. The soldiers adjusted their pace, their eyes scanning the horizon, ever watchful, ever vigilant. In the distance, a village came into view, its thatched roofs and stone walls nestled snugly against the hillside. Smoke curled lazily from chimneys, a sign of life, of warmth, and welcome. The soldiers approached with caution, their presence a reminder of the world beyond the village's borders, a world fraught with conflict and change. Yet, as they entered, they were met with smiles and nods, gestures of recognition and respect. The villagers, accustomed to the comings and goings of travelers, offered what they could: a meal, a place to rest, a moment of respite from the road. The soldiers accepted these gifts with gratitude, their hearts lightened by the simple kindness of strangers. Here, amidst the laughter of children and the gentle rhythm of daily life, they found a brief sanctuary, a chance to breathe and gather their strength. But time was ever marching forward, and soon the soldiers would need to move on, their journey far from over. They left the village with full bellies and renewed spirits, their steps lighter, their resolve stronger. The road stretched out before them, a ribbon of possibility winding through the landscape, leading them ever onward. As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a golden glow over the fields, the soldiers found a place to make camp for the night. The routine was familiar now, each task a comforting ritual that brought a sense of order to the chaos of the world. As darkness fell, they gathered around the fire, its warmth a beacon in the cool evening air. The stars emerged one by one, twinkling in the vast expanse above, a reminder of the infinite, the eternal. The soldiers sat in quiet contemplation, their thoughts drifting like the smoke that rose from the fire, intertwining with the night. Here, beneath the stars, they found a moment of peace, a pause in the relentless march of time. And as they settled into their blankets, the earth cradling them once more, they knew that with the dawn would come new challenges, new opportunities. But for now, in the embrace of the night, they rested, their hearts full, their spirits unbroken, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The world continued its dance, a timeless rhythm that carried them forward, ever forward, into the unknown.